I'm gonna show you how I work the flower, like the square motif. First row, we chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring. Now we need to work the 3 double treble clusters, so I'm going to show you how to do. So we chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to replace the first double treble. Yarn over 3 times, going in the ring. Now we're gonna draw the yarn through 2 loops each time, like 3 times. So that's an unfinished double treble. We need another one, so we're gonna have another 3 yarn overs. Repeat the process. And now we have to finish all of them as one, so that will be a cluster of 3 double trebles. Next we have to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work another cluster out of 3 double trebles. 2, 3. That would be the second. And the third. Finish them all as one cluster. Alright, now we have to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we work another cluster out of 3 double trebles. So there you have it. Next we repeat again the chain 4 and then again a cluster, chain 6, again a cluster, until you have 8 clusters of 3 double trebles. The last arch will be a chain of 6. Okay, I'll see you back when I finish this round. Alright, so I am at my last cluster of 3 double trebles, and now I need to finish this row with a chain 6 arch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I slip stitch into the first cluster. I chain 1 and I cut the thread. I pull the thread, and then I'm gonna weave in this end, and I'll show you how to work the next row. Alright, so basically for the first row you have 8 clusters out of 3 double trebles, separated, each separated by one time an arch of 6 chain, another time an arch of 4 chain, and so on and so forth until you have completed the round. Let's go to the next round, and I'll show you how to start the round with a standing double crochet. With a new color, have the loop ready on the hook already. Okay, yarn over as if to work a double crochet. We take our flower and we start in any cluster from the previous row. It doesn't matter. I prefer to start at the cluster that is followed by a chain 4. So insert the hook into this cluster, draw a loop. Now draw yarn through 2 first time, and then another 2 the second time. So that's a standing double crochet. For me, as I was reading the diagram, it was easy to understand this row this way. over each cluster you will work 1 double crochet, and then over each arch of chain 4 you're gonna work 5 double crochets. So let's proceed. 1, all right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, where the cluster is, we work 1 double crochet. On every chain of 6, on every arch of chain 6, we work 11 double crochets. This way you don't have to count the whole row, you just need to know how many you're working at a specific moment. And at the end you just have to double count your stitches so you don't miss any. Otherwise your motif is not gonna come out the way it's supposed to. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so that's the principle. Over each cluster 1 double crochet, over each arch of chain 4 5 double crochets, over each arch of chain 6 you work 11 double crochets, and at the end you'll slip stitch into the first double crochet here. I'll see you there. So I'm here at the end of my row. I'm gonna slip stitch into the first double crochet made. I'll chain 1 and then I'll cut off the yarn or the thread. I'll weave it in and then I'll see you for the next row. So again, we start a new row with a new color. In my case it's a lighter shade of pink. And I know in the pattern I said that you have to put markers in the middle stitch here and here. This is going to be, so if you have 11 stitches in the corner, you're going to have 5, 5, and the middle one is going to be the 6th stitch. So you may put a marker on here or not. It depends on each one of you. I start this row in the stitch here that I worked over the double treble cluster. So I'm gonna start with a standing double crochet in this stitch. Wait. All right, here, like this. So we have first double crochet, and then we chain 1, we skip 1, and then we work another double crochet in the next stitch of previous row, and you keep at it like this until you get to that middle stitch from the corner where you're gonna work a bit different. I call this row the filet crochet row because it looks like filet crochet. So skip 1, work double crochet into the stitch, chain 1, skip 1, and work into the next, work a double crochet into the next. See, it's pretty simple. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into next, again chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into next. You can see our motif is starting to take the shape of a square, which is going to be easier for you to follow the pattern because you're going to have 4 sides and 4 corners. So again, so I think this is the middle stitch for me. I reached the middle stitch here. In the middle stitch I work, after I done the double crochet, I work chain 3 and another double crochet in this same stitch. So you kind of form a corner here. On this side you'll work chain 1, skip one, double crochet in next, and so on and so forth until to the next corner. On one side you're gonna have 9 empty spaces, 9 empty blocks. So let's see, skip one here, chain one, skip one, double crochet here, chain one, skip one. All right, I'm just gonna go with it so you can see what I mean. I'm sure you understand it, but just to make sure. Don't pay attention to my thread. That's how I work. You don't have to do my mistakes though. You don't have to make my mistakes though. 1, 2. All right. So 2, 4, 6. We need 3 more empty blocks to reach the next corner. It's a really easy motif to work on once you know how to read the diagram. Here is the corner. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 empty spaces. That means I reach the corner and I'll work 3 chains and then 1 double crochet into the same stitch. This way I start the next side. So keep going in the same way as I showed you, and I'll meet you here at the end. So I'm at the end of my row. I worked chain 1 and then I'm slip stitching into the first double crochet to finish this row. Okay, I'm cutting the thread because I'm gonna start with white the next row, and the next row is gonna be very easy to work on. See, you can see your square shaped already motif. Okay, let me weave in and then I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back and ready to start my new row. It doesn't matter where you start because what it matters how you work at the corners. You'll know why in very short. Okay, yeah, let's start, for example, into this stitch. We work a standing double crochet and we'll work a double crochet into each space and into each stitch of previous row. We basically fill it all this row, we fill it with double crochets, 1 for each stitch. So I'm almost at the corner. Make sure you don't skip any stitches. Alright, in the corner we have to work 2 double crochets and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again 2 double crochets in the same arch. And then just repeat the process before. 1 double crochet into each stitch of previous row and into each space till the next corner. To the next corner you'll work 2 double crochets, chain 4, 2 double crochets, and so on and so forth till the end of the row. So I'm back. I reached the end of the row. I'll slip stitch into the first chain, into the first stitch, and then I'll cut the thread and weave in the ends. See you in a while for the next row. But before that I want to review this row a little bit, so just to make it clear. So now if you look at your new motif, you'll have 4 sides, right? 4 corners of chain 4 arches and 23 double crochets on one side. So that's what you have to have at the end. 23 double crochets on each side and 4 corners of an arch of 4 chain. All right, so I'm back to start the next row. Well, I start each row with a standing double crochet because I start with a new color, and for me it doesn't matter in what stitch I put the hook in, but let's say we'll put it in the middle here, because actually nothing will happen on the sides, more will happen on the corners, and you'll see why. Okay, double crochet into any stitch on any side. Keep going, working 1 double crochet in each stitch up to last 2 double crochets of previous row. I'll do it with you together, just to make sure you got it right and I explained myself the way I'm supposed to. You can choose any colors for this motif, and if you were to work it in one single color, you won't need to start each row with a standing double crochet. You'll just keep going as you know how to, chain 3 instead of first double crochet and so on. So I reached the end of this side for this row, so we skip these 2, we don't work them, but instead we chain 1 and then we work 8 trebles, 8 trebles separated by 1 chain, each of them separated by 1 chain. So we have our first treble, chain 1, and then second treble, and then chain 1, third treble. So you need to have in each corner 8 trebles separated by chain 1. Yeah? Alright. So I have in the corner 8 trebles separated by a chain 1 stitch. Now chain 1, skip these 2 double crochets from previous row and work 1 double crochet in each stitch ahead up to the last 2 double crochets, right? It's kind of a symmetry here if you pay attention. And that's how you work this row. At the end, join to finish the row, but do not cut off the thread, because we're gonna work with this thread into the next row too. So I reached this other side up to the last 2 double crochets. I'll chain 1 here, and then I'll work the 8 trebles, separated, each of them separated by 1 chain. And when I'm done with the 8 trebles, I'll chain 1, and then I'll skip 2. I'll work double crochet into each stitch on the next side, and then up to the last 2, so on and so forth till the end of the row. I'll meet you at the end.